We are all born into this world with different cultures, religions, and ethnic backgrounds. But one thing we all have in common is that we all have dreams. My dream was to become a writer. My name is Amir Dion Williams. I'm the author of Guardian, Franklin's Story, and Guardian, a Hero, son of Medusa. Ever since I can remember, I've been telling stories. In elementary school, I used to tell stories to teachers and families and friends. And at the time, I didn't know these were lies. They were just my own stories from my imagination. And as a kid, you believe everything from your imagination is true. You believe monsters in the bed, under the bed, or you pretty much believe that the Tooth Fairy is real or Santa Claus is real. Anything that's in your head as a kid, you believe. So when I was 8 years old, my mom gave me my first notebook. And she told me to vent all these stories in my head and onto paper. When I turned 13, my grandma, she bought me a laptop for Christmas, which I was really happy about because my penmanship is not the greatest. It's pretty chicken scratch. That's when I started to write my first book.
My handsome son, Zamir Williams, and he's working on his first book called Ice Cold. Young author and up and coming.
It's actually called Ice Cold, the First Guardian.
Okay, this is the episode Ice Cold, the First Guardian.
Prayerfully, God will bless ASAP, and the publishers will have a wide choice right away.
Well, I remember back in elementary school, we used to play games at recess, and I used to kind of be the leader of it. And whatever I saw on TV, we would try to reenact it during recess time, whether it be Star Wars or like Superman, different stuff like that. And I would choose who would be the villain and the superhero, and usually be biased and make my team win. So when I started writing off, there was a lot of problems that usually included using the word them. So that's why you'll probably see the word then maybe only 30 times in this book, even though there's like 50,000 words, because I don't like the word then at all anymore, because I used to use then after and over and over and over again, then, all the time when I first started writing when I was 13 years old. And my biggest problem at that time was being stubborn. I wouldn't listen to my mom or anything. It took one of my friends to read the book to tell me that this was not right.
He is the Teenage Author Spotlight. This is his first event for his book.
Well, the way I used to hit that ball, you thought I was the greatest hitter. But like life goes on, other things comes, and you get hurt.
Yeah.
And then you just leave that alone.
Sucks when stuff like injuries and stuff that hold you back, even when writing my book, stuff like procrastination and stuff held me back. But like, unfortunately, I had somebody to push me, like my mom and stuff like that. It's always good to surround yourself and people who believe in you. Right. In a way, just people who have doubts and who don't really do stuff with their life. It can really bring you down as a person.
Right.
So it's really nice just to surround people who have dreams like you, people who believe that they can do stuff, instead of just surrounding yourself with people who don't think they can go anywhere and stuff like that. Right. Because if you have a dream, you can achieve it. All you have to do is put in the hard work to do it. It may take 2 years or 3 years, but eventually you can do or be who you want to be. Franklin is a hostage in a foreign environment. He has to decide whether to give up or to keep trying. He has to figure out why he's there and what his purpose is. He has to learn how to fight and live in this civilization on this entirely new planet. He'll learn how to deal with danger, but he'll learn how to overcome his fears at the same time. When I was 13 and I made Franklin the character, I had to think of what superpower would Franklin have? And I didn't just want him to have any old superpower like flying or super speed. That's where I gave him the ability to control snakes. Who better to be the parent of the person who controls snakes than Medusa herself? Franklin didn't really have any other purpose other than the fact that he has superpowers and his mother was Medusa. So I had to think of something special, something different that I could make with my book. And that's when I came up with the idea of guardians. 8 different guardians, not just one. Franklin's not the only guardian that I'm writing about. I'm writing 8 different stories about 8 entirely different people from entirely different planets at the same time. This book doesn't just follow one planet and one ethnic background. This follows people from different planets and different ethnic backgrounds. My plan is to have each book, at least one of my books, will be able to relate to almost every person in this world. That's my plan, and that's what I really want to do as a writer. Throughout the drama, the comedy, and the suspense that Guardian has in it, there's a message that I'm trying to make. And that's the never doubt yourself. Pretty much, Franklin goes throughout this whole story trying to find out who he is. There's a whole new world to him, and he doesn't entirely know who he is, and he keeps doubting himself and doubting that he's not good enough for himself. And over the course of meeting these new people and finding out what he can really do, he learns that doubting himself only holds him back from who he really is.
So what page are you up to?
351.
Did you figure out the name of this book yet? No. This is the second volume of Guardian Franklin stories.
Now it's 5 months in since the first book was published, and we're getting ready to publish the second book. And first book was about 100 pages. The second book is like 400 pages. So he literally gave up his summer to write this book for all you guys out there to enjoy. And I'm really am grateful to God for blessing him with this talent and reality. So as a mother, as a single mom, I just want to encourage other single moms out there, you know, when you see that spark in your child, and it's something that he's passionate or she's passionate about, even if they're young and they're not really like strong in that field, just continue to encourage them and support them along their journey until you feel, okay, they're ready. You know, my thing is, you know, he's been writing since he was 8, but he got really serious with it when he was 13. And from that point on, you know, his first book was published at 16 years old. And now he's 17 and he's about to publish his second book.
After I started writing my book, I sort of fell off, as teenagers usually do when they try to start stuff. I was going through a lot of changes and stuff, as all teenagers do, and my main distraction was video games. I played video games over and over again. It's still my biggest hobby today, but I know how to balance it between writing my book now. But what got me out of that slump was my mom. She said that, you know, you gotta go for that book. You gotta get it done. And, you know, at first I just kind of ignored her, brushed her off, stuff like that. You know, I was a teenager, I just wanted to play my video games and stuff, you know. No other teenagers over here trying to write like 400-page book, you know. And at that time, I think I was about 14, 15, you know. And around the time where I hit 16 years old, I got that urge again that I got when I was like 8 and 13. And I just wanted to write again, because it was a while since the last time I wrote. So as soon as I started typing those words, you kind of get those shivers when you start writing, those shivers when you do anything that you want to do, anything that you're good at. And from next thing you know, I have like 100 pages that I wrote when I was like 13, redo them. Next thing you know, keep writing, 400-page book. And I mean, I'm not saying it's easy, because it's not, but if you have to love it, you know. And I love writing. That's what I want to do for the rest of my life. And if you love something, you should take the time out to do it, no matter what. Just throw everything out. Like I don't. Video games is not entirely gonna get me anywhere in life as much as doing what I love is, which is writing.
So it's up to you guys to believe in him, and you know, get behind a young man trying to do positive things and inspire the world with his imagination. Writing is his passion, that is his dream, and as his mother, as his teammate, I am fully vested in making sure that his dreams become reality.
When I'm not writing my book, I'm working on my podcast, Dion's Story Podcast. This podcast consists of many different stories that I've written already. Not only are these stories read aloud, these stories have sound effects and suspense and feeling within them to make you really feel like you're in this world I've created for you. Also with my podcast, not only am I giving you stories, but I'm giving back by giving you writing tips that help you write just like I do. My writing tips are for everyone. It doesn't matter if you're in middle school or in your last year of college or even married with children. My writing tips are there to help everyone who supports me. I want to support you as well as you support me. The being was now walking towards me, slowly. Its form reminded me of a werewolf. From what I could make out, it had short hind legs, a large body, long. But ever since then, she's had an aneurysm in the inner lobe of her brain.
Whack.
It's building.
Cut!
I'm sorry. Controversial thought as the things that may happen.
Mm-hmm. That's good. That's good. Good job, Babu.
I'm just a regular teenager who fell in love with writing. I have to do the chores, I go to school, and I have to do homework. All things I'm not a big fan of at all. But what I am a big fan of is gaming. It's one of my biggest hobbies. Actually, when I was 16, I made my first computer. All I did was go on YouTube and search up how to build a computer. I was that dedicated to it. Just as I'm dedicated with writing, I'm dedicated to doing the things that I want to do, whether it be gaming or writing at the same time.
She do the dance, she do the dance, what? She do the dance, she still your man, go.
Go ahead. You just remember when I need a redo, you know. Yeah, get my money.
You know what?
Get my money. Get my money. That's what you get for cheating.
For my books, my podcast, and my blog, naydrop.com, I hope to inspire the world to get more involved in literature. My future goals is to take my books and even my stories and put them on the big screen. My name is Amir Dion Williams. I'm the author of Guardian, Franklin's Story, and Guardian, A Hero, Son of Medusa.